Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, this was a live recording, a recording of a live stream I did on ustream.tv. If you want to join in the live chat, join us at ustream.tv, look for Inky Obsessions, and follow me. You should get notifications whenever I go live. All right, ladies, so I'm just going to show everybody what we did yesterday at the Queen's Ink. This is my little satchel I had packed up. So we worked with air dry clay. This stuff is different than this stuff that I had been using. Oh Lord, let me get this out of the way. This, I guess I can get rid of this too. Got old codes on there. That's dangerous. Oh, I'm telling you, it's a wreck down here. I can't even show you all my pretty stuff I got because it's still packed up from gifts from the retreat. Everybody seems like they had fun and enjoyed themselves. So that was good. Good to hear. So this is what I was using before when I was trying to, when I was playing along and doing the Carol Nelson stuff. I thought this was the stuff that I saw her using. I'm not sure. And this is called Polyform Model Air Dry Modeling Clay. And it's made by Sculpey. But listen to this. This stuff's heavy. Oh, stuff's falling down when I'm dropping that. It's heavy, it's dense, it feels cold and damp through the package. This is the stuff we used yesterday. Feels like you're holding a sponge. I mean, it's like marshmallow. Look at this stuff. It's like marshmallow. Oh, Hobby Lobby has a polymer clay sale. I think I have to go get some more. I got a good bit of black and white. But anyway, this is the stuff that we used. Let me get rid of these crystals. This is for another upcoming project. They're rhinestones, actually, with a flat back. Got an idea or something. That's all I want to do. Move that out of my way. So here, oh, let me show you the stamps I got yesterday. I know, like I needed more stamps, right? So, I'm hoping my flyer is in here with the artist's name because I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, here we go. Judy Kaufman. Hey, Carol. Hey, Robin. Virginia. Willina. Hello. So Judy Kaufman was the name of the instructor that we did this with yesterday. And she had a line of rubber stamps that are going out of print. And we had the first chance, our class had the first chance to buy them before they were released to the Queen's Ink open population. And I got another little bag. You know how we like these Queen's Ink bags? They always have the best bags. I love this one, black and white and the words. This baby will be going into a collage at some point. You can bet on that. Hey, Jessie. So, these are some adhesive that she recommended, these Tombow Extreme tabs. So I grabbed a couple of these. She said this will hold these tiles to pretty much anything you put them on, porous or non-porous. She said it's really good. They're waterproof, heat resistant, indoor, outdoor. So these are adhesive tabs on crack, apparently. She had some beautiful samples. I didn't take any pictures. I probably should have. But these are some of the stamps. Dave will have to get that. Here's one of the sets.
Call from Carl Shopping.
Here's another one. Oh, that's my friend Gail calling.
She
went down to Fells Point, which is a bar area with her husband and a friend visiting from North Carolina last night. And she's texted me at like 1 a.m. saying they can't find their car. They valeted it. So then she texted me again and said, the cops are now here trying to look for my car. Then she texted me this morning and said they had to take an Uber home and they're going back today to look for the car again. So we're assuming that her car was stolen. Like, what the hell? Anyway, I don't know who's responsible for that since it was valeted, but I love this one with these medallions up at the top. And I like that elephant trunk in there. I didn't realize, oh no, that's a seahorse, sorry. There's another one with an elephant trunk somewhere. Or was that it? And I thought it was a trunk. No, that's not it. But they're very textural. They aren't a lot of imagery, which I like. I like, you know, the graphic and abstract stuff. So this one was just all different kinds of leaves and foliage. And Donna was with me in class. Here's another one. And so we tried to buy opposite stamps. Hey, Joan. Yeah, I just went live a couple minutes ago. So anyway, Donna was there and she bought opposite designs from me because we live a mile apart and we can get together anytime. So these are hers that she sent home with me. But they're all very textural. And at first, when I looked at these, I thought, I don't know. You know, I mean, I like them, but do I need them? Well, we know that answer. However, when I start looking at the pieces she made with this air dry clay, I thought, yeah, I'm probably going to need some of those. So some of them sold out yesterday, and you'll never be able to get them again. But here's what we made. And I know that's white on white. Let me zoom in a little bit. Lynn, it was my friend Gail. She and her husband and a friend from North Carolina went down to this area. It's a nice area. It's Fells Point in Baltimore. It's on the harbor. It's a big hangout for bar hopping and restaurants and band live music and stuff. Actually, Jim Belushi was at the bar where they were last night. She recorded it. It's on Facebook where he was playing his harmonica and singing at this Irish pub where he was last night. So, but they valeted their car and they went to leave around 1 o'clock in the morning and there's no car. Cops came. Cops couldn't find the car. They went back this morning, couldn't find the car. That was her just calling. So Dave grabbed the phone. So I don't know what they found out. I could hear him talking to her actually because he talks so loud. I was going to zoom in. Hold on a second. Dave's calling in. He knows I'm streaming, so something must not be right. Hang on. Yeah? Yeah. I am streaming. Did they get the car or not? They think it's stolen now? Well, wouldn't they have to report it stolen? That seems stupid. Oh, God. Okay. I'll call her in a bit. All right. They still haven't, the police still haven't called it stolen. So we'll see. They said they didn't call it stolen because they have to search all the parking decks it could have possibly been on that the valet has rights to park in. Like, seriously? And my nephew, Zach, used to work for that valet company that's down there. Try to get you scooted in a little bit more. Hey, Debbie. So, here's kind of the stuff that, hopefully this will show up. This is the kind of stuff that we got from these stamps. And you basically take the clay, ball it up in a ball, press it down onto the back of one of these stamps, get it pretty good, and then she says she leaves these sheets together and just bends it and peels it off of there. Now, it was hot at the Queen's Ink yesterday with that sun coming in those big windows in the classroom. So the rubber was getting warm and some of it stuck, but that'll come right out. We're not worried about that. But So anyway, that's how we made these. Now these don't look like much in this form. I'm going to try to mimic what she was teaching us yesterday. Now I did a couple where we went back and painted it black and hit it with some paint and some pigments. That's some of the vivid ultra metallics on black. Right? Here's another one where I just tried to hit the high points. Here's another one where I painted it and wiped back the top and then put some treasure gold on it. So this is air dry clay, Joan, that I took a class, Donna and I took a class yesterday at Queen's Ink. And this is literally, it's light as a feather. This is nowhere near the stuff that I was using before. Looks like marshmallow. It's like you can't hardly feel anything's in your hand. So anyway, of course I made a couple tribal sticks out of it while I was there. And she said it takes up to 2 days to dry, but I'm going to assume this is dry enough and carry on. Here's the one with those little medallions in it. Now the drawback for the way I like to color my tiles for this clay, in my eyes, the drawback is it doesn't have that natural, hey Rihanna, doesn't have that natural stickiness that the raw polymer clay has. I think this is even different from paper clay. Because we have paper clay too, but they call it paper clay. This says air dry modeling compound. Air dries in 1 to 3 days depending on the thickness. Yeah, well, we're going to assume it's dry because I'm not waiting anymore. That's the drawback to me. I like polymer clay because of how, it's pretty much immediate. You bake it for 15 minutes and you're good to do whatever you want to do with it. Having to make these and wait 2 or 3 days, I'm not wild about. However, it does have its place because this, you can't even hardly feel that that's in my hand. I mean, it's like a little piece of thin styrofoam. It's so light. So if you're going to make it for certain applications like jewelry or mounting it on something where it's going to be, hang on, this is the stuff that I thought never dried. It's Polyform Model Air. And listen to this package. This is heavy. The package feels cold and wet still. And the pieces that I made still feel damp. And I made them a month ago, probably. Yeah, right, Jan. I thought about that, actually, setting them outside. But I'm going to press on and see what we can do with these. But because you don't have that stickiness, I like to use a lot of pigments, a lot of primary elements, and that kind of stuff to color my clay. Well, you really can't do that with this. This, I tried to put this on right after I balled it up and pressed it and peeled it off, and I went back with some African Jade primary elements. I mean, it's on there, but it's not going to stay on, and that's not all I want to do to it. But so she suggested once you get the paint on there, to the wet paint, try to put down your powders and pigments and micas to try to get that to adhere. And here's one I tried. This was a fail. Actually, Judy really liked this, but I thought it was a fail because it didn't come out how I wanted it to. But I mean, it's foil on there with purple and teal and black, so I mean, how bad can it be, right? But she never thought about using foil, the gold leaf on there, so that was like an eye-opener for her. Hey, Petka. Hey, Lynn. So, anywho, I'm going to press on and see if I can paint some of these and do some sort of coloring for some of these. But, like if you wanted to make a pendant out of this, and you can also go back like with your Tim Holtz scissors and trim it and cut it after it's dry. But this is so air light, like for earrings or a pendant or any kind of jewelry. Or she put some on greeting cards. and mails them. Now, she said you had to put foam in it to mail it because it's too thick with all the relief and stuff that's on there. It's too thick to go through the post office machines. But, you know, it's a different animal. So you use it for different purposes, and I think all the clays have their rightful place. Now, I wouldn't want to make a box out of this stuff, I don't think, or a wall hanging like I do my polymer. I mean, it's not like it gets a lot of handling that it would be a problem. One thing that she said about this that is typical, hang on, I'll pull out a little bit. Hey, fish! One thing that is typical with this stuff is that when it dries, let me show you again. I don't know if you guys can see it. It kind of curls up. None of these are really flat. So the edges kind of curl up, and it's not, this one really curled. See how wavy that one is? However, for the right usage, you know, it's good. Also, she said to put wax paper around something like this and mold the piece to go around it. And she had some wrapped around vases and glued on. So it was really kind of cool. Let's have at it a little bit and see what happens. Let me get some of I got my bag still packed from there yesterday. Oh, Lord. And of course she supplied just about everything, so I didn't need anything that I brought except for a few brushes. Let's get some paints out of here. Took just a few of my favorites. I'm going to try again with this. I haven't done laundry since before the retreat. That's my next chore today, is to get upstairs and try to make my way. Through that god-awful pile awaiting me. Oh, another thing she mentioned, that when you use this clay, if you want to embed any little metal bits in it, roll it out, shape it, press the piece into it, pull the piece out of it, let it air dry, and then go back and use that as a form to glue your piece in after it's dry. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Pixie. So, you know, again, different stuff to do with this. So let's get, I don't know, what am I going to, let me grab a piece out of here. I'm going to use this piece. She had a couple pieces like this that she had done that looked really cool. Oh, crap, hang on to your seats. I got to zoom you back in. That's kind of tricky white on white there. Yeah, I know, Joan. Those little like coat hooks, Joan, that you made, those colors were so stunning. I thought that was beautiful. The guy, Jan, you may have seen, they were like black and white, but this steely light blue, a dark blue, almost like a navy, white. I think you're a Linda, right? Good morning. So anyway, oh, you know what? I better get my bucket of water. Hang on. Ill prepared. Story of my life. YouTubers, don't hate me. All right. never enough room. Hey, Bunny. Hey, Deb. Hey, Christy. All right, let me move that out of the way. All right. Now, so what I'm going to do is base coat this in black. And this stuff is really porous, and it really sucks up some paint. Oh, there we go. These bristles are stiff. Lordy. You know what I think I might use? Instead of my golden fluid, well, I'll use this little blob up. But I think I'm going to switch and use some of that. What's that stuff called in the bag? The squeeze bag? Hey, Jen. Sennelier. I just have it in black and white. And one thing that Judy suggested, she said something in class yesterday that I thought was really great, a great view to have as an instructor. She mentioned that she hopes people take this, which she does with this clay, out and share the technique with their friends and whatever, because she can't reach everybody and she'd like everybody to know about it. So, really lovely person. And she's been teaching for like 40 years. All right, so let's try another. Let's do one of my tribal sticks. That one's kind of bending a little bit too. These feel a little tiny bit cool on the back, so I don't think they're dried all the way, but we're going to pretend like they are and carry on. And to get in, you got to kind of swirl your brush to get in all these little crevices and bits and layers and all that good stuff. I was using the golden because it is so fluid and can get down in there a little bit better. And she suggested also that since this clay has a tendency to buckle and not dry completely flat, to make sure while you're painting to hit the edges and a little bit onto the back. And if you are making jewelry, be mindful if you're doing earrings that the back's going to show and the pendants may flip over. But if you're putting it on a card or on a vase or mixed media piece, if you just do the perimeter of this in the back, the edges underneath will be black, but the center nobody will ever see because it's going to be glued down. You can see where that is showing a little bit of the white through there where it's really sucking that paint up. Hey, Marie. I'm going to hit that a little bit again. I shouldn't even bother with that because I know what I'm going to do with that. Oops. I wonder if that's because it's not really dry. Maybe this is a boo-boo. We'll see. Here's another one of the pieces. And a lot of them look like relics. They look, when she got finished with them, they looked really metallic and like a broken hunk of something, some piece of pottery or something, and you'd find in a cave or some kind of archaeological dig somewhere. She used a lot of black as a base coat, and then put a lot of teal and purple in the next layer, and some copper paint, and for some highlights. And another thing about this clay, it's so light. Hey, Gail. It's so light. Well, I don't want to do it now with my hands painty, but you can take it when you get a shape pressed up there, you know, on your stamps and pull it off your stamp. You can take the edges and pull it off and let it fray, which is what I did around there to get a different kind of a rough edge to it. And then if you don't like it, you can tap it back down before it sets up, or you can leave it, which I chose to do because that's why I tore it in the first place. Hey, Willina, Mickey. Oh, that's a good idea. Willina, sandwiching the clay between two different stamps so the back's pattern too. One of the ladies there, Judy, was saying not to add water to this clay for like release for your stamps or whatever, that you don't need it, and we really didn't. The only issue we had was because it was so hot with the sun coming in the windows, the rubber was getting warm and then it was getting a little sticky. But all right, I'm just going to paint those 3 for now. And crap, lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was gonna say. Great. Ay, ay, ay. Whew, I need a drink of water. So I'm going to get a couple pigments out. I took just a few pigments with me. I got this at the Queen's Ink when we had the Art Asylum little show last fall. Lith, I don't know your name, dear, but hello. Thanks for joining. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Bear. So here's just a few minor pigments I took with me yesterday. All right, let me get these out of my way here. Might use a little bit of this copper. And let's see if I can mimic this look. Yeah, right, Gail? Yep, just took a few of my favorites. I got to keep these out of the line of the fan. I'm going to have a disaster. African jade, look at that. Oh, you know what I started to do when I ran out of time this morning? Hey, Gayla, how are you? I started to do, but then I thought I wasn't going to have enough time. And that was to get on the phone with Apple. Tam mentioned when we were in Maryland. Hold those nails out there so I can see them. They're my fingernails? With the paint on them. That's all. Just a French manicure. Oh my God, I forgot what I was going to say again. It's going to be one of those days, people. Oh, Tam mentioned when we were in Maryland that, you know, I keep saying that all this stuff to me on my computer screen, this looks cobalt. This is not cobalt. That's a very light Caribbean blue mixed with some green mica. And if anybody has African jade, they know what that looks like. Doesn't look like that on my computer screen. So she was thinking maybe it was the color settings in my computer, not so much the lights in my work area, which coincidentally, the day that we figured it out, Dave was here with the electrician, getting him to give us a price to put daylight, what are they called, full spectrum bulbs and all these fluorescent lights down here, and to add another panel of lights, another fixture to help light back up the area that the TV he put in for me blocked out. So hopefully one of those two things will so yeah. Marie, no list exists yet. That's something that Gail is going to put together for the girls that were in Maryland to share their information. All right, let's see. What do I want to... I think I'm going to put some... I'll try this. I got this new little apple barrel paint when we were at AC Moore. Just the color grabbed me. And again, that looks more blue, but this is a lot more green than it looks. So it's like a turquoisey color. It's an apple barrel called Key West. So we'll try a little Key West. All right, now she kind of went in here and hit some of the high parts with like the side of her brush. But most of these I'm going to come back and hit with copper. I want some of this to get down in the cracks. This is going to be too transparent of a turquoise, I think. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe so. Can't really tell yet. Yeah, this is going kind of clear on me. Crap, that's not going to work. Most turquoises are very opaque. Patty, the color issue is more likely the number of colors the camera actually reads, not the computer displays. I don't know, but I'm calling Apple this afternoon to see if I can adjust anything. I found the color settings in the computer, but I didn't want to mess with them yet. Hey, Leslie. And this is like the best webcam that you can buy for your money right now, I believe. So the fact that the colors aren't coming out very well, I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's try this one instead. This is a Cobalt Turquoise by Lucas. It is a webcam, and even though H3 webcam does not read the number of color. My last camera was the cheaper version of the same brand. Showed a better display of the colors, I think, than this one does. Which is, I think, really strange. I don't know. I don't like it. Jean, do you notice the colors that you're actually working with show differently on your computer screen? Yeah, I will let you know. Let's try this turquoise, because this looks like a mess. That did nothing good on there. If there's something can be done about it, I'm gonna do it, because I hate demoing and recommending colors, and you guys aren't seeing the right color. You know, I don't. I hate that when I look in the. I see something that's a gorgeous, light turquoise, and it's coming out dark cobalt blue. I don't like it. So I'm just kind of using the side of the brush, catching what it catches. Again, I don't want this neat and even if it's going to look like a relic, right? So I'm going to put a little bit more paint on some of these high parts just to get them wet, so that I can come back with some pigment. I'm going to use this copper. Let's see how this goes. And this is drying fast. Not fond about how this is coming out, honestly. Maybe because it's not all dry. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, you can get an idea of the relief of those stamps. Oh, hang on. Let me open links. I just saw somebody got censored. Okay, guys, links are on now. Hey, Terry. Hey, Virginia. So, still wasn't the right turquoise. Not wild about that. Let me put that aside. Let's see. What else can I try? Let's try a vivid. Looks like a butterfly one. Oh, yeah. It does kind of, doesn't it? Good observation. I'm going to try some vivid. This is one of my new ones. This is teal zircon. Somebody's texting me. Oh, a Joann's coupon. 40% off one regularly priced item. I never go to the Joann's. Is in Columbia, so it's probably 15 or 20 minutes from here, which isn't bad. However, it's packed in that place all the time, and God forbid you want fabric. You have to wait forever to get any kind of service with the, not because they're bad service, it's just so busy. Like, what the hell are all these people buying in here? All right, let's try putting this on. Let's do that on this piece. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Teal Zircon Vivid. I'm going to put this everywhere. Almost everywhere. I'm going to let some of the black holes show through there that aren't getting hit. The ones I'd have to dig for to get color on it, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let those remain black. All right, let's put a little of this to spark it up a little bit. And then maybe a little bit of copper. Certain areas. Oh, I'm liking this one better. And you want these kind of messy. You don't want them to look perfect, because I like that one a lot better. Try to get that metallics to show. Anyway, that's kind of cool. Hey, Pat. All right, I'm going to do one of these. While I got this teal zircon on here, I am not going to waste this stuff. This is too cool. And this I'm going to work in everywhere. think. This is air dry clay called Delight. It's like marshmallow. It's so light, and it has different properties from polymer clay. So the two aren't exactly interchangeable, in my opinion. I would use them for different applications. Let's try something here. Take a baby wipe and wipe this back a little bit. See if it responds the right way. Oh no, but it's doing something cool though. Oh, I don't know what that's doing. Huh. But look at that light green that came up in there. That's pretty wild. Now this is kind of dry. I'm going to go back with a little bit of Inka Gold. Instead of getting it under my new manicure, I'm going to take some of this out and put it on my palette somewhere. Get off of there. This is the Inka, Treasure Gold, sorry. White Fire. It's kind of a silver and gold mixture. It does not get as hard as polymer. It is light as a feather. I couldn't believe how light it was. So now I'm just going to kind of like hit some of the edges with this. And just kind of sporadically throughout there. I don't want to lose that light green altogether. That looks kind of cool. What did you buy, Vicky? Are you talking about this clay? Hello, little phantom. All right. Let's see. I'm going to paint... Oh, here's the one with the elephant trunk. It is, Tam. It's completely different than polymer. Different properties, different ways that you can handle it. I'm going to try something now. Is this what I want to use? Clear medium. I'm going to try mixing some of this primary elements clear medium with the primary elements and then trying to paint this and see what I get. Because it won't stick to this clay. It's, it might have been a little too much. That's the clay that I'm using. Oh, you bought the clay. It is kind of fun to play with. But look at this. Let me show you guys. It just came on. You should always keep it wrapped up when you're not working with it. But it's like marshmallow. It just stretches. You can tear it and leave a frayed edge on it if you want to. You don't need to condition it. It's ready to go right out of the package. So let's try Bolivian blue, beach house blue. These are also, I don't want to try all of them at the same time. Northern Lights, melon. Let's try this Beach House Blue. And I'm just going to mix some of this powder. I put a little blob of that medium there. I have no idea what proportions to mix it with, but we're just going to try it. Trying to get it gently mixed in so it's not all airborne and catching in my fan breeze. I should read up on this stuff to see if this is what I'm supposed to be doing with it, but I'm guessing it is. All right, mixing pigment with medium equals paint, right? That's what we're hoping for. All right, get that out of my way. And now we'll see what this looks like putting this directly on white instead of putting it on black first. We'll see what the difference is. Oh, I missed something. What happened with your clay? Eileen! Hi! How are you feeling? I'm so glad to see you in chat. I'm waiting for Eileen to respond. We've missed you. I know you've been in the background at some point, but I'm so glad to see your name in chat. I hope you're doing well. I have a box to send you as soon as I can dig my way out to get it together with some things that some of the ladies in Maryland wanted to put together and send to you. So you're going to have a package coming. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm really glad to hear that. It made my day. All right, I'm going to come back to this. This is kind of thick. I might not have the proportions just right on this, but we're going to give it a go and see what happens. This looks like it's coming out pretty cool. I'm seeing the two tones. All these primary elements, they're not just one color. They have a different color mica in the pigment, and then the different color mica that gives it that almost dichroic glass kind of flash to it, which I find awesome. All right, I'm going to go hit my edges a little bit. Hey, Safia. I did get some of that Crayola clay, actually. Let me go get a bag. What I liked about that is that you can buy it in black. I don't know if you can buy the Delete in the black. Delight rather. I didn't see it when I looked at it on Amazon. Actually, Queen's Ink had it cheaper than Amazon. Can you guys see how that's drawing with two different colors? Like, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I might need to get out. You know what? Maybe instead of copper, maybe I'm going to use this gold a little bit. Get some in the lid. Maybe I should get a little bit more of this on there so it's a little bit wetter in areas. So it's got some stickage. There's that one. I can't find that sweet spot for the shimmer anymore. Must have new lighting. Oh, Cheryl Kahn used it, Eileen. I remember you told me somebody used it. I couldn't remember. Of course, couldn't remember. Let me see if I can grab a package of that to show you guys. Apparently, here's a package I threw across the table. I didn't have it wrapped properly, but it still feels like it might be usable. This was the black. And this is very much feels like that. But this is the packaging. Reuse or air dry. And it pretty much, well, this is kind of funky now because I left the package open. Let's see if it's okay in the middle. I'm not sure about this. This may be a goner. I don't know. This feels a little doable. Maybe I better use this. Oh, in a big tub? Yeah, of course you do. Hang on, let's try. My old faithful. This is how I do my tribal sticks. I just make a log out of the clay and kind of lay it down. Wherever it goes, it goes. I don't want it to be completely symmetrical. Yeah, it held it in print. So let's put this over here in my box. Let that dry up. So maybe some of this is, maybe I better use this while I've, let me make some of these stamps here. Where's that one? Oh, that might have been one of the ones I'm thinking of that I used there. That was Judy's. Oh, here's this one of Donna's. I'm going to use this one, I think. Hey, Jane. So these were stamps that Donna and I bought at Queen's Ink yesterday. Judy Kaufman did this class, and she had a line of rubber stamps that she was closing out, and she had the last of her production there. and she was talking about how deeply etched these stamps were by this guy that used to press them for her, that's been out of business for quite a while. And yeah, I like those tribal sticks too, Joan. Let's of course my hands are dirty. I'm getting all this paint all over the clay. I'm gonna paint it anyway, so I guess it's not that big a deal. This one makes a really cool impression. This clay might be a goner for this though. I have another package or two somewhere. Alright, you don't have to use all of the stamp, and you can mix the impressions on one piece. You can, you know, use these all kind of different ways. And then just kind of roll this and peel it off. And you get that bit. But that would look really cool with just some pigment catching the top of that. Alright. So, anywho. With this, try this one. I like this one a lot. Let's try this with a piece. Oh, my hands are really dirty. This probably isn't going to go well. I am so disorganized today. I am so far behind since the retreat. I've done no laundry, no unpacking. I just hit the ground running and back to work like a crazy person. Patty, you put your clay on rubber. You put your clay on rubber stamps. Yes, you do, Bear. So here's a piece of this. This is much more malleable since it wasn't destroyed for a month, 2 months laying there. See you, fish. Thanks for joining. Let's see. This would be great if this stuff came in black. It would save you a whole step. So she kind of rolled it in a ball to kind of get bubbles and stuff out of it. And then I just kind of shaped it. I'm going to do this piece right here. And just kind of drag it and shape it into the shape that you want it to be. Probably too much clay. It's kind of thick. But I can tear some of it off. Alright, just get a really good impression. No, I don't. I rarely use a mold, Bear. I use all my polymer clay tiles. They're all stamps. Haven't you ever? I thought for sure you'd have seen me using stamps on clay. That's what I do all the time. You can look back at some of my old YouTube videos. And see me making some of my tile stuff. You can add a tiny pinch of paint to the clay and color it just a tiny bit in case if you add too much it'll become sticky. Oh, really? So here's that impression again. Here's my dirty fingerprint. But see, you can take now, oh, let's see, do I have any tools? Close, hang on. Okay, let's just take one of these little stylus things. And you can add paint to the clay before molding, someone said. Pressing it on tree trunks. Oh, and sidewalks for texture. Oh, cool, Eileen. We missed you and your ideas. So now you can just go back on these bits that are just came out smooth here along the edge and go back in and put more texture in there with little tools, knives, you know, whatever. Right, and add that little bit of those dots in there. And I've got all kind of texture tools. I wonder where the heck they are. But if this is too much over here, you can take this and kind of just tear it and get that rough torn edge to it. Without really messing up too, well, there I tore too much. It's my boob. But you can get a rough edge if you want a rough edge. If you don't want the rough edge, you can tamp it back down. Just make it smaller around there. Get a smoother edge. You know, you just fiddle with it and get it where you want to get it. Let me see if I can find those. Oh, where would you be? Oh, you know what? I think they're packed from Maryland. Here's some. Oh, let's try it. Whoa, almost knocked my whole box over. Here's a little roller. Makes kind of lines and dots. Let's do that around here. Kind of hard to see the lines. Focus, focus. There you go. Well, it started to come in. Hello. Why do you give me such a hard time, camera? Anyway, trust me, they're there. So here's some of my texture tools. All right, I have all these little shapes and tips and designs on them. So you can use something like that. This one's pretty much, well, I don't know. Let's see. What can I put in there? I use this little, oh, there they are. I was looking for my texture rollers. See, I told you I had some, Kathy. Oh, good, Carrie. I'm glad you like it and you're enjoying it. That's great. I knew it. I had a couple of these same, let's see, those two. Holy crap, I have the one I wanted right here. You knucklehead. I've got these sitting in my cart, shopping cart, a couple of those different patterns. Okay, I'm going to use this little there you go. See that design? It's got a little circle with little lines in it. I got these from that Polymer Clay TV. Website. They had a sale where they had, I don't know, 30 or 40% off. And I got one set then, and they had another sale, and I got another set of just these, the big, like, ball tip styluses. So you can add another little bit of texture in there. So all this extra stuff, this was just kind of there. And I kind of incorporated more texture and made it part of the design. Let me put this one over here to dry. All right. So let's do another, shall we? I'm going to do one of these because this doesn't have a whole lot going on, but we can add to it. And just because the stamp is shaped like a square doesn't mean you have to go in there and make it a square. You can, of course, cut these to make a mosaic, but like I said, they will dry and curl up a little bit. She said you can like flip them over halfway through the drying process, let the backs get equally dry, and that'll be maybe less curling. But see, I'm looking at this stamp on camera, and everybody knows what color the red rubber is for red rubber stamps. It looks orange to me on camera. It looks almost the right color on my live feed from my camera, but watching it on my computer, what you guys are watching, I have a window open with Ustream on it so I can see what you're seeing and the chat. And it's a different color there. The two windows show it as a different color. Possibly Susan. So let me pull this off of here. Oh, that picked up a lot more texture than I thought it would. So there's how that one looks. Kind of looks almost like an octopus for some reason. I guess the shape of this reminds me of the head. But you can go back in here and let's see what we have. What the heck is that? I have no idea what that is, but we're about to find out. Hey, Jane. Yeah, it's more like a yellowy, rusty color on camera, and we know that that's what the color red rubber is. Oop, that's stuck. That's no good. That's stuck and I got clay all in my tool. Not good. Alright, that's not good. That didn't come out so nice. Let's move along. Try something else. Got butterflies, leaves, crescents. Let's try this little arched kind of design. It's got little lines in it. Right. Let's just go around the edge with that, see if I can make that come back from there. Yeah, not too wild about that one actually. So if you don't like it, then you do this. So anyway, that's, I mean, you can do different things with this than polymer. I wouldn't use the two interchangeably. Get that out of the way. I have this piece in my hand and it's a little funky, so I'm going to try to, oops. Have you made cane yet, Patty? No, I haven't even attempted cane. Kathy, that was that Sennelier paint in the bag, like that plastic bag. Hang on, I'll show you. I have one or two. And they're still packed. No, here we go. This is what she was using. Sennelier. And this tip unscrews, and you can buy different tips to screw back on this thing and just use it kind of like cake decorating where you squeeze the bag through the tip. Oh, yeah, Jane had the marbling extraordinaire set up going all weekend. All right, I'm just going to see what happens here. I'm going to make that a little bit flat and just roll this and see what I get. Oop. I'm going to get a mess if I do it that way. So maybe not a good idea with rollers. Or maybe just this roller. There we go. Can uncurl it. It made the impression. I'm not wild about these edges here. I'll just tamp those down a little bit. I don't know, we'll let it dry and see what happens. I have a feeling this baby's going to curl even more than it's already trying to curl. This kind of made it curl. Yeah, they really were, Jennifer. They were great papers. No, Susan, some of the Canadians couldn't make it because the dollar's so bad compared to their dollar. It's like 35% difference or something. It just made it prohibitive. All right, let's sit this over here and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to paint a couple more. And let's see what we get. All right, I'm going to use up some of this paint I mixed up before I lose it. I kind of want black underneath it here, though. All right. Let's just do it quickly. Good. Brushes flying everywhere. All right, you can catch the edges of this a little bit. I wish I had taken pictures of the samples that Judy had there. You would have never thought to feel this material, how feather light it is, and how she had it look so metallic-like and crusty. And she had one piece hanging. It reminded me of a gong, but it had this metal piece, a big, like twice this big, hanging down from this kind of a hangman's kind of a swing set arch, kind of, I can't describe what I'm saying, like a gong would be on. And it had it hanging against some plastic, which looked metal, but it was like just a sheet of some kind of vellum or something that had color to it. And this hanging in front of it and that open space around that arch. It was awesome. And then she had a little triptograph kind of thing that she did where she had each piece mounted with some, what's that stuff called? It's like foil paper with different metallic designs and stuff on it, where she mounted that and then put this over top of that. You can only see a little bit of that metallic paper foil stick out on the sides. Not gold leaf. It's foil like you use with the glue, and it's, and maybe like the minx stuff. I don't know, actually. Oops. Use up this black paint while I got it going. So I'm going to try to get all the black down in these holes, so that will still show as black when I add the next layers. At least in my little head, that's what it's going to look like. Well, the ladies at the retreat got to meet Mojo and Babe in person. Mojo was great. He's fun. He's social. He's like, yay! I'm happy to see everybody. Babe came in and she couldn't have tucked her tail any further underneath of herself. She was scared to death. Which I figured that would happen, but, you know. It's part of her charm, I suppose. I'll have to look and see if they make this in black. I don't think they do. That would save me a lot of time. Patty, was this a video you saw on this type? No, Gayla, it was a class at Queen's Ink that Donna and I took yesterday. Swirling my brush around. Patty, you can knead the paint into the clay for black clay. I'm going to have to try that. Yeah, she does better, and Babe does better in smaller groups and in her own environment. But to put her in an elevator, you know, and walking through places she didn't see, and strangers coming in on the way, you know, she was pretty freaked out by the time she even walked in the door to see 28 people. 27 she didn't know. But some of the ladies, and Joan and Paul was with us too. I don't want to say ladies because Paul was there. Took a drive over to my house and came in to see where I do this and what a wreck it is down here. We went upstairs to see the knuckleheads. And she barked and barked, but somebody, who was it? I forget who the brave soul. Oh, maybe it was Jane. I don't remember. Somebody just sat down in my big recliner where Babe always hunkers down, and just sat there with her and petted her, and she's fine. She's not aggressive at all. She's just scared to death. I know, Kathy. Isn't it a great store? I bought a couple of packs of this clay from Patty yesterday. I wanted to buy more, but I didn't want to buy too much and not let the rest of the ladies, because there was another class there today using this. So I didn't want to, you know, scarf all hers up and some of the other students not get any. So I looked on Amazon last night. Patty had it for $6.50, and it was like 8 something on Oh, Tam, was that you sitting with Babe? Well, I don't think you came over with us that Saturday afternoon when I came over. But you did when you and Xander came here to take your class. I know you went right up to her and sat with her. But we came over. Miss Kathy. Live classes with people with blue paint on their face. Oh, mercy. I'll never live it down. I'm going to keep painting while I have black paint on my palette. Hey, Lisa. I'm trying to remember who that was. I had Kathy and Gayla and Jane. Kathy, Gayla, Jane, Paul, Joan. I had another person in there. It's like counting the 7 dwarfs. I know I can cram 7 in Dave's Navigator. Isn't that crazy? I can't remember who that was. Anyway, somebody in that group just plopped down with Babe and was petting her, and she was just fine. No, not yet, Lisa. It's a lot of work for one person, so I don't know if we'll go to every other year or if I'll do it again next year. I probably will end up doing it again next year, but I think the prices are going to go up. I'm not sure I can negotiate the freebies that we've gotten the last 2 years. Both years they said they can't do it another year for me, so we might have to incorporate those costs. And it's a lot of work to pull it off. You wouldn't think it was. You think you just book the place and show up, but that's managing all the money, collecting from everybody, trying to get some freebies lined up, working with the Queen's Ink to get that lined up. Just get, supplies for everybody, figure out the classes. Bye, Mildred. This is kind of boring watching me paint all these black, I'm sure. Let's switch up and do something else then. Let's see. Which one's almost dry? None of them. One of the most difficult things is communication with the group, because not everybody's on Facebook. Not everybody will respond to email. When people don't respond back to me, I had people show up this year that paid me their money, but I didn't hear from them for weeks. I didn't know if they were going to show up or not. And they were there, which I was glad for, but I can't, the head count, I have to commit to that. And once I commit, then I can't get any money back. Whether they show up or not, I got to pay for them. And there's a lot of moving parts. Donna and I were talking about some ideas. I don't know, we'll see. That's the biggest thing, is getting, you know, people to communicate. You know, when you send out an email and ask, like I trying to figure out who was going to be here Tuesday to go to Queen's Ink, you have no idea the headache that it was to try to get that coordinated with drivers, and who was going to be with who, and who needed a ride, and who was going to be there Tuesday and who wasn't. You know, I'd say in the emails, please respond yes or no, so I know at least you saw this and had a shot at it, and still didn't hear back from a lot of people. Like, okay, I'm trying. Now, it's got to be easier, and I don't want to make it a big thing. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, and, you know, I gotta, I don't know. It's a lot of stuff. E-invite works for people who use computers, Susan. I had a master spreadsheet. I used a lot of that stuff, but if people don't respond, they don't respond. What's tricky is when I'm working so many hours a day, I don't have a lot of time for all the chasing and resending and redoing and all that. So it just gets to, I don't like that one. I don't know what I don't like, but I don't like it. Let's put something sparkly in there. Yeah, I'm going to have to, I don't know. We'll see. Nope, I don't like that either. No, I don't want to. I don't want it to become a big deal and a big committee thing and have to run the committee and all that crap. You can't accommodate everybody, and, you know, I want the group to be fun and drama free and be there to have fun, and you know, it was pretty much like that this year. That one's just getting worse. I might have to paint that one all over black again. I don't like that one. What do you use these for, Patty? No idea. Just learned a class on how to do them yesterday. But I'm probably going to incorporate them on, like, my mixed media collages, like I use those tribal sticks that I did. Well, you'd think, Bren, but I've done it 2 years in a row. And I can tell you, that's not how it works. I really like this one. I think those donut looking things are going to come out pretty cool. All right, let's see. Oops. Oh, I lost that paint. Let's try another color in here. Bolivian blue, majestic. African jade. Oh, let's try a little bit of this stuff. And I saw this in a video and I thought, oh, I have to have one. It's Hologram Pearl is the name of this paint by TriArt Spectral Color line. So let's just see what this looks like on black. This might be a little bit crazy, but I like crazy. Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. Well, the only thing is, I just feel like if I'm going to do it, I need to be in control of it. It's my name on the contract. I'm responsible for all that money and collecting everybody's money and all that. So, you know, it's got to fall on somebody. And if I'm going to do it, that somebody's going to be me because I that's a lot. That's a lot of money to be responsible for. Let's try copper on this one. Oh, that's sticky. Oh, I'm not going to like this. This looks very Mardi Gras, I think. Doesn't remind me of a relic. Not liking that one either. Probably find its place somewhere, but so far I like these two the best. Let's see, how did I make this one? Did I go? I think I went over that. Hey, Sandy. Oh, we're not trying to plan anything. They were talking about if we do the art retreat next year. But let's see. I think I used teal zircon. Let's try a different color. Let's try Bolivian blue. So this one's really curly too. See how that's not flat? I don't know if you can see that. It's not flat. I think Card Chick is sandy. No? See, I need to find a good turquoise. Why aren't my turquoises working? Let's try some. Oh, cobalt teal. Let's see a little bit of this gem left in the bottom of the bottle. I have a couple more bottles of this. It's in my stash. Precious fluid. Oh. Whoops. I might be calling her the wrong name, all these streams. That's a little better. As relics go, of course the color's not going to come out just right. Maybe a little bit more copper down this dead center of this. A couple of those little bits. There, I caught those a little bit better. Lisa, I'm not sure what color. You mean the cobalt teal? Is that the one? And I know it doesn't, it shows up like cobalt blue on my screen. I don't know if that's the one you meant or not. I'll watch chat in a minute to see if I can see if you come back to me and ask what color for sure. I'm going to try just taking this, and I'm going to try, I had another, where's my treasure gold? Here's the white fire one. Yeah, it's no longer made. It's a golden color. Although other companies I see make a cobalt teal. They're never that golden color exactly. They're very close. Even the golden teal that was supposed to replace it, it's got something toxic in it, apparently. And even though it was supposed to replace it, it's not the same color. For sure. Yeah, cobalt teal is a turquoise color. It comes out on my computer showing like a cobalt blue though. All right, I'm going to try this treasure gold. This one's called aquamarine. And I'm going to try it on this one. This has more of a fine relief on it. It kind of looks like medallions overlapping and laying coins or old medallions. You know, those old Japanese coins have that square cut out in the middle. Can you see that? Probably not. Yeah, you're just going to have to trust me. Maybe you'll see it better when this goes on there. Hey, Heather. This is kind of a two-tone color. It's kind of an olive green with a turquoise in the background. You can see the relief a little bit better now. Are those paints or pigment powders? This is wax pigment, the treasure golds. The primary elements, these are loose powders. The problem with this air dry clay is that it's in its raw form before it, you know, when you take it out of the package and go to use it, it's not sticky enough like polymer clay. When it's raw, you can put pigments right on there and they'll stick immediately. But you can't do that It's air dry clay, Linda. It's this stuff. It's like marshmallow white, airy stuff. And it air dries. It's got a lot of different properties from polymer clay. And these things they're light as a feather. I do really like how that one came out. Let's try another, shall we? Oh, that one's still raw. This one ought to look kind of cool. This is an impression. I used it stamped with the black clay earlier. Let's try something. Yeah, Zondra's been really not feeling well. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of black. Here and there. Not completely. I don't know how it's going to look, but we're going to try it. I'm going to go real black right up against this center bit. And get lighter as I go away from that. Now, let's try a little bit of this leftover cobalt teal because I have some. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's just keep going, see how bad it gets. The black looks dry, but apparently it's not, and it's blending. Crappity crap crap. Hang on. We got to get Martha to stream. I ended up giving her my old webcam in Maryland because she had a Mac and wanted to stream again. So we have to make sure she streams. This is more Bolivian blue over top of this mishmash of colors. Get a little bit of African jade on here while it's still wet. There's a whole different feel. It's tricky. When you're used to using the polymer clay to get the feel for this. Patty, can you use dilution zinc spray on this? No idea what you can do with it. My first introduction to this was 24 hours ago. I have no idea. I'll have to try it sometime. It's very porous. And they say you can mix paint with it to color it. Yeah, great manicure. I got an email from Shauna the other day. Is she okay? I haven't seen her for a while. I got an email from her the other day. She received the box that I sent her. And, what am I going to do with it? Maybe I'll put some gold paint on there. Start with a layer of that. Alright, this is just Golden's fluid acrylic in gold. And I'm basically going to go over just some of these high relief parts with this as a means to get it wet, so that I can go back and put some pigments on there. Let's see, maybe some copper? I don't know, I have it open. And my time on this is limited for my open time to work on this before it dries. Got a couple of blobs in there I'm not thrilled about. Oop, like that one, for instance. Get off of there. Well, maybe it's not bad. I like it better looking at it in the camera than I like looking at it in person. But these definitely like the shimmer. So I'm going to go back. Do I have any more painted black I haven't done yet? No. I'm going to paint more black. Great. I want to find a turquoise. She had a sample of this design. And it was so cool the way she had it looking. And I cannot mimic it for the life of me. Let's try it again, shall we? What time is it? 12:51. Oh, I'm supposed to be done this at 1. I'm going to finish this piece, then I'm going to wrap it up. I got so much to do today. I can't pull off a 3-hour stream. Gayla and Kathy, I am so tickled about North Carolina. That's going to be awesome. You guys will love Jody and Jean and Jan, the 3 J's. Alright. Oops, I'm picking up pigments on here. My mishmash on the... I know, Gail, it's going to be a blast. I'm telling you, let's use this little curly cued one here. This has some interesting marks in it. No promises, Gayla. Dave is usually a sport. He may bail us out if we do. God bless him. It's just black fluid acrylics, Marilyn. I wanted to like a looser consistency paint to be able to get down into all these little cracks, so I thought I'd go with this fluid. And what I'm going to do with this one is while this black is wet, I'm going to try hitting this up with some, let's use a different oh crap, let's use a different pigment though. Stargazer, Northern Lights. Let's try Northern Lights. That's kind of an interesting one. You might want to share his contact information, Kathy, before it's, so that we all have it. All right, I'm going to go back and just kind of hit the high points. Get him a little sticky. I also want to try to figure out how to get gold leaf on this stuff. I didn't use the glue properly when we were in class. Shocker. Wow, this is a cool color. I don't know if it's going to blend with this black paint so much. That's the Jody Old Remy retreat. I was at the one 2 years ago in Ocracoke. I wanted to say Hatteras, but Ocracoke. That was spectacular. Now they're doing one in Vass near, it's in Pinehurst. Pinehurst is where the hotel is, Gail. Their studio is in Vass, which is like 15 minutes down the expressway to get to their studio. I don't know, well, that turned mostly purple, but it's got some that bluey stuff in there. See those different colors? We'll come back to that. That one's called Northern Lights. That's a primary element. All right. Gayla, you have a great laugh. I'm telling you. I love that. A good old belly laugh. Yes, I do. This one's very simple, but I think that might make a big impact. Like, just like, you know, this, how I like those striped stencils and those simple things like that. Sometimes they make the biggest pow. And get the black down in the cracks of that. Hey, Terry. Oh, you will. I'm telling you, that's really a retreat where I am very clear when we do our art gathering, saying it's a gathering of art friends. It's not a retreat. Theirs is a retreat. I mean, you're pampered and catered to, and it's awesome experience. I highly recommend it to anybody that can swing it. Oops. Let's go African Jade. I have it open. It's one of my favorites. Oops. Mixing it right in with the black again. Maybe that's too. Maybe I got to pounce it. Oh, there we go. This is a pouncing process, apparently, not a rubbing. See, I'm used to the polymer where you just rub it in, right? This doesn't like to rub in wet paint because then it wants to mix with it. If you pounce it, it'll kind of lay on the top. Oh, you are, Kathy, taking her. I want that class so bad. That's why I decided to go to this retreat. Like, I must do that class. Those and her Zen paintings that she's doing recently. I love those. She did that in Ocracoke in May. So they're going to, every year, they're going to do Ocracoke in May. It's an island in the Outer Banks of the southern part of North Carolina, just below Hatteras, if anybody knows Hatteras. I spent about, I don't know, every weekend from February to November for, I don't know, 8 or 10 years, I forget, in Cape Hatteras for our boat. And so I'm very familiar with it. It's a gorgeous place. I'm going to have to do something else to give it a little bit more dimension. Maybe a little copper. I don't know. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint some silver. Well, now I got this one in my hand. Let me just paint this one silver, then I'm going to wrap it up. We'll see what happens here. I'm going to do the Vivid Ultra Metallic and this True Silver. The colors of these that are called True, that have the name True in them, where in Missouri, Kathy? Is that at KP's place? Kristen Powers' place? Is that what you're talking about? Because I know she does classes with Kristen. Kristen is who manufactures my rubber stamps. She's awesome. Rubber Moon. Moon and the Maker. KP. She's all those people. All right, I'm going to put some... Anyway, I started to say, any of these ultra metallics that have the word true in the name, they are actually ground metal pigment. It's not a fake pigment. It's ground metal that's in here, and that's why they are so vivid. No, the Zens, I think they're done on clayboard. The abstract are on canvases, Gala, I believe. It's on a regular art canvas. She did do some stuff on UPO, though. She's got some good online classes out there, too, for the ones who can't make it to her retreats. She's got some good online classes. Let me try to put something, mix something in here. Let's do this bright blue. This is called Majestic Blue, and it is majestic. I'm just saying. Oh, of course, I can't hardly show you my finger, but that's a gorgeous blue. I'm going to mix some of that in. You see the lighter bits of this when it goes over the silver, and it's more the dark when it's over the black. back with some silver. Hit those high points again. And you don't have to be very precise about looking for this kind of a old relic looking kind of a design, because they're all boogered and beat up anyway, right? And we'll see how that looks. And we'll see what that does when it's dry. I'm going to... No, that's called Majestic Blue. That's this one here on the palette. It's more of a true, bright, royal blue, and it's got some kind of a tealish colored pigment in it. It's awesome. Let's do... I'm going to try to use up the paint that's on my palette, and then I'm going to run. So let me put this Majestic Blue. I don't know if you can tell. See that pigment in there? It's got a lighter blue shimmer to it. Come on. Work with Mama. There you go. Now you can kind of see what it's doing on there. I think teal is like it. The vast majority of people, I think, love teal. I don't think you can go bad with turquoise, teal, whatever you want to call it. In my humble opinion. Hey, Ella! All right. Now, let me take some of the silver, because I have it here. I have some black, too. Do I want to get any black in there? Maybe I need a little black here and there. I'm just going to do a real light brushing. Maybe I should do the silver first. That's what I'm thinking. Let's do the silver first. I am now Patti streamed. Joan and Paul and Dave and I had a nice outing Monday night after the retreat. They were still here till Wednesday. So Dave and I went and picked them up after work, and we went down to Annapolis and had dinner on the water. Then we had a little stroll around Annapolis, and since we've become accustomed to ice cream every day, we stopped and got a... How do I see it? See the face? Had a little ice cream cone, sat out by the water. There was a guy there playing music. Real pretty sunset, so that was a nice time. It's funny, we were rolling around Annapolis and having a little stroll, and I heard Miss Patty, Miss Patty. What the heck? Was her our friend's granddaughter was down there with her boyfriend and a couple other youngsters that went down for the evening. This is, no matter how much I put this over here, it keeps, the blue keeps coming through because I didn't let it wet, of course. All right, let's try on a little bit of black in there. Yeah, that was fun, Joan. I'm glad we got to do it. Bye, Linda. It's coming out a pretty color, though. Just the latest little feathering of black somehow, somewhere on this. Then we're going to call it a day. Oh, how am I going to do this without hosing it up? Maybe I'll just hose it up and figure it out later. Can't say I'm a big fan of that one. But you can't win them all, people. All right, I'm going to go try to undo that. Here's, I'm coming around to liking this one a little bit more. I like when that camera focuses crisp. And it's so difficult to get it to do that sometimes. Come on, baby. You're still not crisp. Hey, Trina. Oh, well. I love my tribal sticks. And I really like this one. Here's this silver and blue one. This one with the treasure gold and aquamarine on it. This one. Oop, almost had it there. Oh, it's so painful. There we go. Now that's focused. Here's the little elephant trunk. This little doohickey. Just the little stripes. I got to do more to that. That's not wowing me. Got to do more to this one. Actually, while I got this silver, let me put a little silver on my finger. And just kind of hit it here and there. Oh, that gave it a little more something something. I like that a lot better. Thanks, Tam. Thanks, Joan. What else? This is that glittery one I'd use with that new paint on it. This one, But I bet something like this in the right place would look kind of cool. Of course, I keep futzing with it. I got all different colors on here now. It's got a little silver on it. right, so that's about it. And this is this Delight Air Dry Clay. It's light as marshmallow. Oh, you know what I wanted to show you guys real quick? So much for me stopping at 1 o'clock. I got more of the Vivid Ultra Metallics, and you guys in Maryland might have seen some of these. Let me show you. This is Bayou Blue. These are the Leslie Onstad color art. Where's that? Colorart.com. The same makers of Primary Elements, Twinkling H2Os, Silks, Radiant Rains, Radiant Gels, and now Vivid Ultra Metallics acrylic paints. And these are ultra. I'm telling you, these are awesome. This one's called Bayou Blue. I'm just going to use my finger to smear it out there. I don't know if this camera is going to do it justice with this lighting in here. Let me get a bunch of them down here. That's Bayou Blue. Bolivian Blue is yummy. This has more of a denim-y teal, darker blue in it. Hello, lover. Oh, I wish these showed up right on my camera. Not doing you much good if you can't see the true color. This one is Kiwi. It's a real yellow-green. Look how bright that is. This one's Jasmine. Trying to get you so you can see the other pigment that's in there. Very difficult to show on camera. But they are ultra. Let's see what else we got. Sunburst Yellow. I mean, these are almost, I mean, they're really vivid. This one's the Majestic Blue. I've used this on some of these tiles. I just wanted you to see a good clean swatch of it. I didn't get all the colors. Not really showing that great. Olivine, this is a pretty green. They definitely are a hello lover, Marilyn. Jean, you'll like this. It's a pretty green. It's called Olivine. Let's see, what else do I have? Bolivian Passion. It's a different purpley pink. Teal Zircon. I mean, hello. Hello, lover. I don't know how it's going to show on camera, but that is like the perfect teal color. It looks too blue to me. It's got more green in it than you're seeing there, but shimmer to the max. What else did I get that's different? I got the Autumn Flame, Dragon Gold, and Autumn Leaf. Let me try to squeeze these in there. Now this is another true metallic, meaning that there's true metal that's in here. All right, let's try to make a little. This one is Autumn Flame. It's got a little bit of a red, it's a red copper. Dragon Gold, that's true metal. That means it's got metal in the pigment. See the difference in those two? More yellow gold, more red gold. What's this one? Autumn Leaf. Oh, that's pretty. I want to try to learn the colors of the paint and the color of the pigment that's in here so I can give you a better description. But there's so many of them. You show the side of the bottle. Yeah. For the website, colorart.com. Color with a U, art with an E. They're spectacular paints. They really are. I mean, I love my golden fluids, but they are not as, here's another one, French Lilac. These are more vivid. Huh, hence the name. This is a lighter purple called French Lilac. And then here's the Snapdragon. You guys have seen me use this before to show you the difference. Dorothy, Carrie has on Carrie's blog. Carrie, if you're still here, can you throw your link out? There you go. On Carrie's blog, Dorothy, there's a list of everybody that we know that streams and if they have a regular time when, but like me, I don't really have. I try for Sundays, but not always do I hit it. So see the difference in those two purples there on either side of this Bolivian blue. So now they're starting to dry down. You can see a little bit more of the shimmer. When they're wet, even though you'd think wet it would show more shimmery, these show like a mirror finish. And I got to show you this. I mean, you've seen me use this, but this silver is stunning. It really is super duper. I got some green mixed in there on my finger from its neighbor. But it's almost like a mirror finish. So there's a few of them. But anyway, so that's colorart.com. Vivid Ultra Metallics. You can see this Bolivian blue is now drying down. See that teal shimmer coming up in there? And this is more of like if dark teal were a denim, that's what that would look like. I just want to make food out of them. All right. I'm going to wrap it up, guys, and go do some of my chores. We got a new, my friend Gail, the one with the missing car currently, she and her husband got a new Ninja 3-in-1 cooker, and she loves it. Dave and I looked into it. Now they have a 4-in-1. So we got a new 4-in-1 cooker. Basically, it's a crock pot, but you can set it on one setting so it's like you're frying and browning stuff on the stovetop. And it has a steamer, bakes in the oven. I forget what the fourth thing is. But anyway, we're going to probably run up to Costco and get some kind of a pork roast. And brown it up and let the slow cooker have its way with it. And that'll be our dinner tonight. So, All right, guys. Oh, yeah, Rain. I came on at 11 today. I was only going to go till 1 and ended up running late. But these are the vivid metallic, ultra metallics I was just showing from colorart.com. Just swatching out some of those. That's just on cardstock. Hey, very real, however, they contain chemical known to cause cancer. One of skin spray with hearing, breathing. It's been on a project or fingers or fingers. Cancer not good for anyone, especially bad news. Cancer is leader in community. Well, I don't sit around with hours. I'm not breathing in the paints. If the liquid, I mean the dry pigments, if they're airborne, I can see that's an issue. But the paints and having them on my hands for a little while and washing them off, I'm not too worried about that. Everybody will have to make up their own mind about how they want to handle that, how they want to use their fingers and paints and pigments and how often they do it, and if they want to do it, that's up to. Yeah, I think so, Terry. I think that's a possibility. But everybody has to make up their own mind with that. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side.